So for the first exercise I decided to do with my client, I chose to do a push-up. Push-up occurs in the sagittal plane, and the main muscle groups would be the shoulders, the pectoral muscles, and then also, I guess, the triceps. And the joints that occurs out would be the elbow, the shoulder, and then, the wrist. So as you're lowering down in a push-up, horizontal abduction occurs at the shoulder. You have flexion at the elbow, and then also the retraction of the scapula. So during this phase, that's as you lower, you kind of start out doing a push-up in these simple steps. So you're going to basically get down on all fours, place your hands slightly wider than your shoulders, make sure to straighten your arms and legs, and then you're going to push the ground and tighten your core and lower your body until your chest nearly touches the floor. Then you're going to have a slight pause and push yourself back up. Some important things to remember is to squeeze the glutes as you're going down. And as I said, engage the core with your making sure that your abdominal is tight as you lower to the ground. And then another helpful tip I like to always, tell my clients is to make sure that the body moves as one unit. So you have your head, facing forward, and as you're moving down, your head's coming down at the same speed as the rest of your body. It's in a slow and controlled movement pattern. You don't want to be crazy all over the place, wobble here to one side, and make sure that you're moving as one unit. So that's what I have for a push-up. So for the next exercise, we have the chin-up. The chin-up, again, occurs in the sagittal plane. It's an upper body movement, obviously. And, the muscles involved in a chin-up would be your pecs, you have your biceps, obviously your abs, and, your erector spinae, delts, and lats. And then for, joints, we have wrists, shoulders, and elbows again. The primary, movement pattern would be, elbow flexion and then shoulder extension. So those are the two, I guess, joint actions. And so for a chin up, how we're gonna do this is we're gonna grip, the chin up bar. It's the horizontal bars, not obviously the other ones, because that's how you're doing a pull up, not a chin up. And so you're gonna pull yourself up, you're gonna lift your feet so that you're hanging, and then if you want, you can cross your feet, and then without swinging, you don't want to move side to side. You're gonna pull your body upward until your chin, is above where your hand grips are. And some helpful cues, I would say, would be, to drive your elbows into the ground, or smash your chest into the bar above you, kind of pulling yourself up, trying to, get as high as you can. And then once, you're above the bar and that type of thing, you're just going to slowly return back down to your starting position. And then you're just going to keep repeating this exercise, until obviously fatigue sets in, that type of thing. So for the seated overhead dumbbell press, you're going to be using the muscles such as the deltoid, the upper pecs, shoulders, traps, and triceps. And then the joints used are going to be your elbow and shoulder. You're going to flex your elbow as you're bringing the weight up, and then also your shoulders are going to be abducted. Basically how you perform a overhead dumbbell press seated, you're basically, so you first want to get in the right seated position. So you're going to have your back on the bench, making sure that's flat. You don't want any arch in your back. And then once you do that, then you're going to grab your weights on your thighs, put them on your thighs. You're going to bring them up to your shoulder height, making sure that, you know, your palms are facing forward. And then once you have this set and you feel stable, you're going to begin to press the dumbbells over your head until your arms fully extend, making sure that you hold the weight above your head for a second, and then lower the dumbbells back down to your shoulder height. The 2 cues I would say with this is making sure that, you know, you're not arching your back, it's flat the whole entire time, and also making sure you don't bounce. This specifically means controlling the weight on the way down. As you push up for your next rep, you don't want to make sure that you're bouncing on the way, and you want to make sure you're controlled. And then as you bring it to that neutral position again, you're ready to press up. So for the progression and regression portion of these exercise patterns, so for the push-up, regression would be to get on your knees and do the same movement pattern. You're basically kind of taking away that engagement in the core and the stabilization factor that you have to have when you're, you know, lowering to the ground. This makes the movement pattern much easier. And then for progression, you have adding a resistance band. You put it around the palms of your hands, and then, you know, you put it around your scapula, and then as you push down on the concentric phase, when you're pushing up, this is where it's going to be the hardest, because it's going to kind of resist almost, and you have to kind of push through the floor to really reach the top, I guess. And then for a chin-up, regression would be to, you know, do like box chin-ups. So you're going to set a box down, you're going to stand on the box, and you're going to you know, pull yourself up in that chin-up, and then you're going to hold it for a second and then come down. And then obviously, because you don't have to go all the way down, it makes it easier. Then for progression, you're going to basically, you know, you can do like a lat pull down or that type of thing, like a heavy lat pull down. This kind of makes it, you know, a different type of movement pattern, but the same in a way. And then for the last movement pattern, we're going to be doing a shoulder press. So a regression for a shoulder press could essentially be, you know, the incline bench press. It's the same movement pattern, where you're, you know, you're engaging your shoulders and that type of thing. And then for a progression, you could be either doing, you know, like a standing shoulder press, because, you know, it takes more of like a core engagement there, and you don't really have, I guess, anything to sit down on and kind of just like stabilize your core for you. So yeah, those are the 3 different ones.